Well, I went to town yesterday, and I had to stop by the thrift store. I didn't get a lot, as usual, but I do want to share with you what I got at this little paper mache box. And it's already primitive looking, but, I'll redo it. And it was a 2001 Heart and Home collection. It has a little wagon and a horse on it. So, I picked that up. It was 50 cents. And then I picked this candle up and I turned it on and it worked. So I'll get to grubby that up. And it was 50 cents. And then this little silver tray, I picked it up. It has some rust right there, but I'll be painting over it. I'll kind of sand that off and paint over it. I saw someone have one about this size, and they made a sconce with it. But they used, I think, an old silver ladle, bent the handle and had it going up and had a little tea light in it. I have a little silver ladle, but I'm not going to use it on this because I like my little silver ladle. I'll figure something else out to make a sconce with that. But when I saw that, I thought, oh yeah, I want to do that. So I got that. And anytime I can pick up these hoops in a different size that I don't have, I'll pick it up. I got this for 50 cents, and it's a big one, probably about a 14-inch, I would say. May not ever use it, but if I need it, I have it, 50 cents. And then I picked this up for 50 cents. It's just a 3-ring binder. What my plan for this is, in my big binders where I keep my patterns, I also have a lot of the stencils that I've cut out, like the star stencils and things. I thought, well, I'd take all the stencils and put them in the sleeves and put them in here, and that way when I want a stencil, it's in one book, not that big old book that I have to pull up and go through. So that's my idea for that. And then in the floral department, I picked up these pip berries, 50 cents. I'm going to use these through all those crafts I was making for 4th of July. Although they go for anything, because they have green, red, and white. Better say that, but I'll put that in I have a little bin that has pip berries in it. I'll put that in there. And then another 50 cents. I picked up this sack of, here's some more of those type pip berries, along with some red berries. And they'll go in my embellishment stash of pip berries. And then I think one other little thing. I picked this up. It was $1. I'm surprised it wasn't 50 cents. But, these command hooks are not cheap. So I picked those up so I can, whenever I have need for one, I have it. All right, that's all for my quick thrift haul. I'm trying to figure out if I got anything else. Nope, that was it. So I'm going to move on to my craft now. Well, this is a cake pan that I got at the thrift store quite a while ago. It's just a little small one. And you can see it already has the rust and everything on it. So I thought I would leave it just the way it is and make some things to go in it to set in the kitchen. So I had this block of wood and I had this printout. And I think I did this printout. I'll have to look. If I did, I'll leave it below. I don't remember because I've had this set to the side for a bit. And I had a block of wood, so I sized it to go to the 2x4. And I don't know the size of this. It's probably about 4.5, maybe probably 4.5 to 5 inches tall. And I'm going to decoupage that on there. And then I drew a pattern. I had an old piece of wood sitting in here in a box. And I just drew this pattern off for the birdhouse. And I decided after I drew it off, I took it out to my scroll saw and cut it out. I made a little mistake there. I kind of rounded that, but I'm not going to worry about it because I took and got me a popsicle stick. I decided I wanted a little, you know, something on the roof to make the roof. So I just cut some popsicle sticks off. And I just used this tool here to cut the popsicle sticks. And that was easy. So when I get ready for that, and I've already stained this because I want that stained. So I'll put this aside, and I'm going to, and this, and I'm going to go ahead and get my picture decoupaged on. So I'll just put a quick coat, and I'm pretty sure I've already spray painted that image. The way it's curled, I think I did. Well, it's got a little hole in it, but that's okay. Make sure I have enough on there, but not too much. That fits pretty good. Okay, it's wanting to curl up on me. I'm going to have to hold this for a bit. Well, this is dry, and I did go around it with my finger sander. It wasn't sticking over too far, just in some places, but now that white paper is showing, so I'm just going to take my Distress ink, the walnut, and a finger dauber, and just go around it. I like to go a little heavy in the corners. Or bring it out. Okay. Now I'll let that ink, Distress ink dry for just a little bit, and then I'm going to go over it with some Mod Podge. But you don't have to watch me do that, because all I'm going to do is smear it on. Now, for my birdhouse, I've decided, you know, you need a hole. You need a little hole. So I'm going to take this out to the garage and get a drill bit and drill a little hole, and then drill another hole the size of like a little dowel rod or a skewer, whatever I'm going to put right there for the little piece that sticks out. So I'm going to go take care of that, and then I'll come back and we'll paint it. Alright, I have coated the top of this with some Mod Podge. I'll let that dry. And then I went out. I didn't have a bigger bit, but I use those little flat bits. It goes and makes a circle. I think I used a 5/8, and the next size I had was 1 inch, and I felt like that was too big, so I went with the 5/8 inch. And then I've got a little black paint out, and I'm just going to put that, paint the hole black. I should have dusted that out good. And then I'm going to get a color for the birdhouse. I think I'll paint the chimney black too. Well, I have some black paint out here because I don't want that the same as the roof, because the roof is stained. Whoops. Alright, that looks good. Now, I'm just going to paint my chimney right fast. I might go over it with a little red or something, or a darker brown, instead of just leaving it plain black. I need to paint my sides, I guess. I'll stain them. I didn't notice that, really. Alright, I'm going to finish this chimney, get my stain, and go ahead and go on the sides with the stain. And then I'll come back when I've chosen a color to paint my birdhouse. I've got some burnt sienna out by Folk Art, and I'm just going to kind of go over where that's black. I didn't even rinse my brush out. It kind of makes it look brick. I dipped it into some black, so it kind of tone it down a bit. Okay, that looks about like I wanted it. Okay, I have decided to use Dixie Belle English Ivy, because I think, see, there's some green in this window pane right here. So that'll kind of tie it all in together. And I decided to go ahead and just paint this, that, and I forgot about the underneath there. Well, I'll take care of it. And this piece here, I decided I wanted I forgot to tell you, I decided I wanted the birdhouse just a wee bit taller since it's going into this pan. So I found a piece of wood and just cut it off and glued it on there. Just made it a little higher. So what I'm going to do is finish painting this, the English Ivy, let it dry, and see where I'm going to go from there. And my birdhouse is dry, so I'm just taking my finger sander and I'm going to distress it pretty good. And then I'll probably wax it to bring the color back. Now, I've just got my Jolie Brown Top Coat Wax. And I'm going over it with that. And then I'll wipe it back. Okay. Yeah, I like that. Now, I'll find my roof and my little stick that I cut. There that is. Cut that to go down in there. This was actually a cuticle pusher. I got a whole bag of them at the thrift store for 50 cents. So I just found a drill bit that was about the same size and used it. So I'll glue that down in there. And I've got to glue my roof on also. Alright, I went ahead and I've glued these on there, and I put just a little bit of Spanish moss coming out of there and glued the little stand on there. And now I want to put the star on there, but when I lay it flat I don't like it. So I found this little piece of, or a little circle. I keep baggies of stuff that I cut, and I don't throw all of it out. Okay, I need another glue stick. Now, it'll just raise it up a little bit. And I'm going to put that about right there. Okay, that's probably all I'll do to this. Then I have this little thing here, because I got one of my tea lights out. They're on a timer. They're on for, I think, 6 hours, off for 18. And I was going to use that in there, and I've already have it grunged. And I had this little tin, little, I can't remember what they're called. Anyways, I had this with that candle cup on there. It didn't want to stand very well, so I got my, you know, like my package of throwouts, and found a round circle, and I've got to paint it black, and that will be done for my candle. Let me paint this black real fast. It won't take me but a second. Okay, that is finished. And then I had a star that I had cut out, and I painted it the burnt sienna. And I'm going to, I think my Mod Podge is stuck. Hang on, guys. Okay, I have to turn the camera off because I had to turn it sideways and bang it. I'm going to have to clean that off or just go ahead and get me a different jar. So I want to have this star to put in that cake pan also. And there's a glue string. Get this off. So I'm just going to put some Mod Podge, actually just Mod Podge with a little bit of instant coffee mixed in it. Okay, I'm just going to coat that. And then dump some of this cinnamon on it. And I'll let that dry and go over it with a little more Mod Podge. All right, now, I think I'm going to work a little bit now on my block, this here. But I got to get my stuff, so I'll be back. All right, what I think I want to do is this is a little bit of this sisal, whatever, and a little bow that I made that I tried to kind of match the colors in the picture. I'm thinking I want to set it about like that. So put that there, and I glued some Spanish moss on top of the bow instead of putting it on the underneath. And then I'll glue this on top of that. And then I got a little sunflower here. And I am going to stick that in the middle of that. And I might get me some of that vine, or not vine, floral wire, the brown paper covered floral wire. I might get some, put some little round things sticking out of it. All right. Okay, I think I like the way that looks. It all goes together. Fixes the block up just a bit. So I'm going to look at it and see what else I want to do to it. All right, I ended up pulling this off and because I had it more to the side, and I put it to the middle and added some of these pip berries here. There's some green and white and a really muted red. So I put that on there, and now set that aside because I think that is finished. Other than I might get some of my coffee and water mixture and put it on there to kind of tone that down a little bit, although those are bright also. We'll see, but I'll set it aside for right now. And I'm just going to take my Mod Podge and start pouncing it on my star. And I think after I get this finished and it dries, I think that's everything I needed to make to go in this cake pan. So I'll be ready to fix it up and arrange it. All right, as soon as my star is totally dry, I'm going to start putting this together. I'm going to have the block I made and the birdhouse, and then I put the bottom on that, and then I have these sunflowers that I did last year in the video, and then this little bottle here, this old bottle with some floral in it, some dried, there's some wheat, and that looks like lavender. I got a piece falling out. Anyways, I'll be using all this and putting it in there and doing a little vignette with just, I think, just this little group of things here. But I'll get it put together, and at the end, when I'm finished, you'll see it.